What's up, everybody? It's been a hot minute. It's your pal Sig Neutron with another Kaptains vlog of it is February 26th, 2021, 12:06 p.m. So says my computer. I don't even look at the clock anymore. I don't even. It's been strange times, strange and good. The unplug was so needed for me, and I'm really grateful that I did take a step back because I saw a lot of things that I missed because I was just trying so hard to attain this goal. And when you become, I'm realizing now when you become so goal oriented, it can actually be a detriment because I've been learning a lot about the masculine and divine feminine principles. And, masculine approach is very like go getter. Like I got this dick and I'm going to jam it into whatever hole is like, I can. But then the feminine approach is I have a hole and I'm going to let things into it, So it's like the feminine is all about like come to me rather than like go out and get, which is the masculine. But both principles are absolutely important because it is like the entire nature of the universe is based on gender polarity, and gender runs through all things. And that's what's so interesting about like exploring my own sexuality, realizing I'm pansexual, realizing that like I am, I don't know, I guess gender fluid, but I like I said, I use the term gender full because I realize I acknowledge within myself the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and I bring them together in me as a focused whole. Because I think this is really important, and I don't. And that's the thing is like it's not for everybody, but eventually I think it's for everybody. But knowing like my learning about reincarnation and what I can remember from my own meditations and things, and just thinking practically about reincarnation and what this even is and what life is and why we would reincarnate over and over again, is because we're basically like what I am is an algorithm. It's I make decisions based on the experiences that I've had. The experiences I can remember, both subconscious and consciously. Conscious experiences are like very traumatic events, or very happy events, like things that happen to you that you can remember happening. Subconscious events are like childhood traumas that maybe you've blocked or repressed or didn't even understand that it was a trauma, but like some part of you, your higher oneness with all things understood that that was something very bad that happened to you. That was something that I had to face a lot. I went through my whole life. What have I been up to? I've been going through my whole life and sitting with the traumas, dissecting it, thinking my way through my life, and sort of letting my mind guide me. I would be like, okay, I'm obviously out of balance, and to continue working at a creative capacity where I can be productive and create from a place of joy and love, I need to find out what's wrong with me. So that's what I did when I unplugged, and that's why I haven't really been making a lot of content lately. But I'm getting juiced up, and I'm getting back to it, and I'll explain all that in a minute. But then taking the time to sit with those, meditating with those, like meditating on the traumas, and I think I've spoke about this in the previous Kaptains vlogs, but it's like this is me reflecting more upon it. Is that So I want to say right now that my relationship with my parents right now is excellent. I've finally cultivated the kind of relationship that I wanted with both my mom and my dad. My mom and my dad are separated, and they separated before I could even remember them ever being together. And my whole life, my younger life was spent, my mom was really trying to find love. My mom's such a good person, like such a good person. But, she has her own stuff that she has to deal with too, like we all do. And so me, where I was, like, you don't really understand as a kid where you are or what's happening to you sometimes because you can't understand from an adult perspective. So to me, is what my experience of life was my mom, this super powerful woman that always took care of us, always looked out for us, and was always so protective of us. But then there's a shadow side to the protective mother, and it can that can start encroaching on a child's freedom. But basically, I yearned for a father. And my mom, doing her best to find love in the way that she needed it, had many boyfriends and was married a couple times. And every time I got really close to one of those, father figures, to the point of calling them dad, then something would happen, and then the family would fall apart, and then I would just be crushed again. It was just and it was a cycle. It happened more than once. And then having the experience with my own dad, he was with a woman that was just horrible, man. I'm hard pressed to find someone I've met in this lifetime that was just vile as that woman. And it's but where I'm at now, I've forgiven her. I hold no ill will. I actually wish her the best. I've come to terms with anybody in my life that has ever wronged me, or I've wronged, whether intentional or otherwise, and I'm just letting all that go. And that's what you have to do. You have to take stock of your life. And it's funny because AA programs, this is part of the AA program, and I do believe there are some good things in the AA program, but there are some major things that I don't appreciate in AA, which is basically admitting that you're powerless. That is the biggest red flag to me right there. Is you're not powerless. You are powerful. You are all things. You are everything. You are the exact opposite of powerless. And this is what mainstream religions try to drive into people, is that you're powerless. You're worthless. You were born in sin, and you must grovel and fucking be apologetic for your own existence. Fuck that shit. I'm so not about that, because I see the potential in people. I see the magic in people, and it's amazing. And there's so many amazing people worth so much. We are invaluable, but yet we feel so worthless. And why is that? It's because society, as it stands, the rules and the paradigm makes us feel worthless, and it makes us feel like we're less than, and we have to strive for something, and we have to be something, and we have to do something, and we always have. And then the capitalist society is basically your worth is only valued by what worth you can generate, or value you can generate for the fucking system, right? And that's fucking bogus, man. We shouldn't be working to live. We should be living. I was going to try to flip that around in some creative way, but basically we should just be living, and the work that we do should all contribute to a positive experience of life, It's not that hard, but it just takes a shift in thinking. We have to shift the way that we think, because the old paradigm is dying. It's on its last leg. I don't even know what's happening in the world right now, but I unplugged to fix my own shit. And I have discovered a lot of flaws in my own processes and my own algorithms, and it's something that I would never have addressed had I continued to stay tapped into the political fucking shit show, the web of trauma that is the internet and social media. I hope it's changing. I mean, I feel like Randy shows me a thing here and there of someone that would post, and people are starting to unplug from the internet and stuff, and I'm like, good, okay, awesome, because what's happening is it's this worldwide web of trauma, and everybody taking their traumas out on each other, and then once you get fucking bombarded by so many shitty fucking assholes on the internet, then you become a shitty fucking asshole, and then it's it doesn't make you a bad person, it makes you a victim. Well, I don't know if a victim, it makes you it's cause and effect. It makes you an effect of a cause. And the cause is that we keep being assholes to each other, and we have to stop being so shitty to each other. But really, what we're being so shitty to is ourselves, because we feel worthless. So we have to find that worth again, right? And that worth isn't in a bottle. I tried that. I fucking, for you, those of you that have been following the vlogs, I was an alcoholic for 7 years. And that's... There's nowhere that goes, I think, but that was a part of my alchemical process, because I was dissolving parts of myself, and the alcohol was allowing repressed fragmented, fractured parts of myself to surface. And that's when I realized I had a problem, because I would start being inexplicably angry. I would get blackout drunk. It was getting bad. So that's when I had to do something about it. And that's when Spirit stepped in and showed me that there's so much more to this world. Holy shit, man. And that was the start of Randy and I's magical journey, which you could see in Black Tea and Bourbon on our YouTube channel. But so this goes back to my yearning for a father figure encoded in me such a drive that I was going to burn through the fucking world once, because I remember in times in my life when I was younger and I was 16, I was living in Indiana. I was being threatened every day of my life for just being who I was. If I wore a fucking pink shirt, man, I would be called a faggot, and I would be threatened with violence, man. This was crazy for me to I back and actually visit, because I looked at my past as a child by today's standards, and I grew up I spent my whole life just thinking it was normal for people to be that way to people. But now today we call that homophobia, and it's a severe problem. It's just as bad as racism. And in the things I experienced as a child and the teen, just finding myself and my sexuality just beginning to blossom into the pansexual weirdo that I was and I am today, that I can finally be today. It hurt to look back and be like, fuck, man, those were that was really hard, and I never really just acknowledged that. And now that I acknowledge it, I'm 33 and the world is changing. And it's my whole life I've fought for LGBTQ plus rights. I feel like we should come up with a better moniker now that I feel like I'm a part of the community. And also I feel sort of alienated from the community too. And that's a whole other thing we could talk about at some point. Just because I don't know, it's strange spending your whole life thinking you're straight, but you were really just traumatized into being straight. And then coming into your fullness of being and your fullness of your sexuality and stuff. But then everybody knows you as just a straight sig neutron, and it's it's just weird. It's it flips everybody's view of you, and then it flips your view of yourself, because then there's all this fallout and people don't really know how to approach you, and then some people don't want to talk to you. And I've talked about it before. It's I tried to talk to some of my gay friends about it, and it's I don't know, it was radio silence, so it's I never really have anybody to talk to about this stuff. And that's why I really appreciate the Patreon here, and I'm really going to try to be more active. I've found what I need to find in my seclusion, and now I'm starting to reemerge myself into engagement with people. So I really appreciate all of you that have stuck around here on the Patreon. And I'm really going to try to really ramp up the stuff that I know that it's been a little quiet around here, but I'm really going to come out swinging with some stuff, which is my Rock Shot videos, which we'll get to that in a second. But I should probably wrap up my point about what I discovered. Yes. So my lack of father figure led this overwhelming drive to me. So when I graduated high school, I just remember as a kid crying at moments that I was so severely depressed and so sad and felt so trapped in this tiny town with tiny minds that just didn't understand me. And I was one day when my life is mine, when I'm 18 and my life is mine, I am going to make it whatever the fuck I want, and I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to get it, because none of these people are in charge of me, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So that attitude drove me to makeup school. I went and moved to Pennsylvania. And as soon as I graduated makeup school, that attitude drove me, 2 days after I graduated the makeup school, I didn't even wait. I just drove across the country by myself with $1,000 in a shitty Dodge Neon. And I had no idea where I was going to live. I'd never been to LA. I didn't know anybody out there. I knew one person, which let me stay at their place for 2 days. But they said originally the deal was I could stay longer, but so anyways. But everything worked out because that drive that I set my mind to it, and I was manifesting my path. Because when you set your mind to things, your path, you have to look at your relationship with all, God, whatever you want to call it, the universe it's almost like a dungeon master, game master player relationship. Is that the the game master, the universe, lays out a narrative for you. It lays out any options. You can choose how to respond to those options. And then the universe, which is a conscious entity, is having just as much fun engaging you and laying out challenges for you to overcome as you are living through the challenges. So it is a co-creative experience of the inner and the outer, the micro and the macro, the you and the all. Like there's you and there's everything outside of you. And everything outside of you is a reflection of what you project, and then vice versa. We're all input-output devices. So this is one of the most like magic, this is what they call the secret, it's like manifesting with the secret. And, it's, the thing is that if you are so passionate and you've set a goal, so here is that drive in me that like, I'm going to prove something to my dad because he never paid attention to me. So I'm going to fucking go out here and I'm going to be a star, motherfuckers, like that drive it was good. It was good at the time. But then I was still operating from that all the way up until I was 33, and then somewhere that drive, like, it led to alcoholism because I think my repressed sexuality and gender identity was really what led to my alcoholism, in addition to other, sexual traumas and stuff as a kid, but that were unaddressed. But so now what happens when you're out here and like things are actually starting to happen for you? But I still have that attitude of like, I'm going to fucking get it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. And eventually that attitude becomes, it flips itself and it becomes a shadow. Like the polarity is no longer needed in your circumstances. But if you don't self-assess and realize that, oh, I'm still stuck in this, like, I got something to prove mentality. And then so in my quest to prove myself, I'm neglecting the appreciation for the things that I have. And gratitude is so important. It's so important. So when Randy, she kept giving me readings and she was like, Spirit is telling you to just fucking stop. Just slow down. And I'm like, but I haven't got what I want. Why would I stop? That doesn't make any sense. And, because that part of me, that fragment, that side of me that was so hurt and so driven, couldn't understand how to operate in a paradigm where I am being provided for. I'm being given what I actually want, but it's not coming to you immediately. And why would you want it to? Like, if you could get everything you wanted all at once, like, would you want that? Like, that sounds like no, because then it's like you blow your load and then it's like, boom, all right, well, what's next? It's like, it's never enough. So it's like, you have to really appreciate where you are and you have to find presence. And, that's where like reading the spiritual teachers and stuff it really come. Like Ram Dass is like my homie, man. Like I call him Baba Das now because he is like he passed away, so he's like a grandfather energy, and he talks to me in my mind. He really does. He's like anytime I'm feeling stressed out and stuff, I just see like Baba Das's big blue eyes, and he's just like, be here now. And I hear that voice, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you're right. You're right, I'm not here, I'm not present, because when you worry too much about the future or you regret too much about the past, it pulls you off the middle path. And this is what you have to keep aligned in the middle path and the middle balance, because that is where your power comes from. And sometimes you have to go to the, venture out to the right or the left-hand paths. Like that's where treasure lies. Those are the dungeons you have to dive into to find some shit. But you always got to like find your way back to the middle path, because if you keep going, you're going to throw yourself completely off. And then you have to start over again, which is death. It's a reset, But you are an infinite mind, and the lifetimes that you've spent screwing up, they're still part of your subconscious process. And the lifetimes that you've succeeded are also there. But it's like, then you have to understand what all of those things are in your head. And you have to bring it into focus, into one being, which is, again, it's like kind of like bringing the masculine and the feminine together. Jung talks about all this stuff all the time. But anyways, I get lost in my points sometimes. So I identified that my process and my main drive was coming from a place of hurt. And I was creating from a place of hurt and creating from a place of, what do you call it? I was creating from a place of forced... I guess fear. I was afraid that I was going to die in obscurity and nobody would know the work of Sig Neutron and but then I realized after unplugging from the internet so much that really this whole influencer culture has like destroyed any sense of community and genuine connection, because you see people with like 2 million followers, right? 2 million followers following one person. Like, that's a lot of fucking people to know who one person is and follow them. But can that one person engage the 2 million people that follow it? No, it's literally impossible. But this influencer culture is all about, gotta get the likes, gotta get the follows, you gotta get this, you gotta goo. And it's like, it's creating a horrible paradigm where people aren't looking at people anymore. They're looking at how much value can you add to me by following me and just being a number in my follower group, because everybody looks at the follow like, ooh, you got 60K followers? Whoa. Ooh, you got 2 million followers? Wow, you must be so important, you know? And it's like, that's not the case, because now you have a system of the internet which is driving people to I get all of these spam emails about like people asking me to join like these influencer programs. We'll give you a discount on our product and you just post photos about it and promo for us. You know, it's just like, fuck, man. Like, it's like corporations and like capitalism has invaded the beautiful thing that is the internet and wacky people, like the influencer culture. Like, fuck the influencer culture, man. Like, it's a fucking nightmare, and it's like it's turning bad, and it's turning people into people like fucking zombies that are just like basically just like promotional tools for companies now. And it's like, we have to move out of that. We got to move away from that and move into a beautiful paradigm of connectedness, creativity, and imagination. And this, like, what's starting to pull me out of this is I was like contacted by this anomalous society, and they run this thing on Discord, and it's like this weird interactive occult game that's like, but also mixes in with a Twitch channel, and they have these mysterious transmissions, but then they put clues and puzzles in there, and they like, I joined this game, but I think, and I'm trying to figure out how they find me, and it may have been from Space Hay, because see, I got a Space Hay, and I highly recommend everybody get on Space Hay. It's like a beta version of what MySpace used to be in its golden era. It doesn't have all the features yet, but it needs more people. The more people that get on that, the more they can upgrade it. And while MySpace was all about connecting with people over what we liked, you would go to someone's page and you'd look at the fucking board and like all the weird art and shit and the music they would be playing and the videos they'd have on their profile, and then you'd get a snapshot of who that person really was. And then you would bond over that. You would connect over that. And they had blog posts and you would like read it. And the idea wasn't to like slam your opinion down and flop your opinion dicks on everybody's faces. It was about like learning, like just connecting, you know, oh, you like that music? I like that music too, you know? And then it was all about the profile picture, like peacock with the profile picture. And then like that, so it's like that culture is coming back, and that is me in my element, because I was like a huge emo, like scene kid as a kid, you know? And it was like, that's the shit. That's the good juju that I like, that's the direction I want to go in life, and get back to connecting over what we love and coming together to build a better world. Because like, fuck this fucking arguing and all this shit and all this like trauma. We have to realize we're traumatized people. We're a post-traumatic society living in disorder. And we have to address that. And I've addressed that within myself, so I'm ready to reemerge and engage, but on a more limited level, because like I have no desire to go back to Facebook, actually. Like, I've logged out. Also, I've been like learning about VPNs and things, and it's like cybersecurity is super important. Google owns like it's got its grubby little Google hands in like fucking everything, guys. Like, seriously, so now that I've started using a VPN on my phone and my laptop, I'll use Twitter, and then literally it won't let me post something, and then it puts this lock screen up and says, "You seem suspicious. To continue interacting with Twitch, click submit, click OK." And then you read, and it says, "By clicking OK, you allow Google to log data about you, your device." And like all this shit, like basically clicking OK gives Google access to everything. So Google is fucking evil, people. We have to. I've dropped my Gmail. I don't use Gmail anymore. We got to get off of fucking Google. All right. That's another story for another time. But I'm happy finding these like obscure, like I'm looking into cryptocurrencies because like seriously, I'm telling y'all, like something tells me that we need to start looking at cryptocurrencies because it decentralizes the economy. Because right now the centralized banks are fucking everybody. Like the banks are the issue. Google and the banks, big tech banks. This is what's happening. This is us, and this is big tech and banks. And then we're just like clicking OK, agreeing to the terms of service to have our assholes reamed. Like it's seriously, it's like it's bad. Once you unplug from it, you really see like, holy shit, man. They have this, like watch Westworld, like season 2 of Westworld, or is it season 3 when they go into like the real world? Like that's what's happening. Computer algorithms are running our fucking lives, and you got to unplug from that shit. We got to say we're humans, god damn it, and come back like with fucking art and beauty and connectivity. Like fuck this fucking computers. Anyways, I'm on a rant, but my original point was I am much more at peace and balanced. See, that fire that I have is directed at things that need to be burnt down rather than like burning down my own self and like freaking my own self out. I am just like content. I've been taking Randy's classes and just getting into I've unplugged from the internet and got more into my magical practice. Like I'm more into my altars now. I'm more into my dance. I'm more into my spirituality. And that's what's really important, is finding you within you. Know thyself. That is the most important like esoteric knowledge that they can give you. So that leads me to the fact that the new content that's coming up is I taught Randy how I do Roksha. And she was like, wow, you're a really good teacher. Because like I just thought it was some weird shit that I do that like, I don't know, would anybody ever understand this? But basically it's my like nude meditation dance thing where I close my eyes and I just like fucking go to town. And I dance and I I heal myself and move the energies within my body through dance and meditation. And I'm going to teach that. I don't know if I'll be nude, but maybe I'll wear some skimpy little numbers or something, because you know what? Like I've been working on my body and like it's good. I'm proud of my body. And like, I want to show it off. So, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think everyone should find within themselves, whatever body type you have, is the perfect body type. Society tells you that you have to be some sort of way, and you don't have to be any sort of way. You just got to be you. And if you're happy with you, that's all you got to be. Fuck everybody else, man. Like, it doesn't give no fucks. Like, if you want to dress however you want to dress, you want to bend gender, you want to do this, you want to do that, like, do it. Fuck the naysayers, man. Like, this is what's happening, is that we are dying because we are like putting ourselves in boxes that nobody wants to be in. So I'm going to be working. Maybe I'm going to get to work this weekend. Maybe I'll film some Roksha basics, and it's going to be Patreon exclusive. So the only place you can get it is here. I might post some promos on the internet or something, but I don't know. I'm just very over the internet as it stands now. So maybe I'll post on my Space Hay and stuff. Maybe that'll be my source of like just advertising, I don't know. I just know that like something is really wrong with the way that I was engaging the internet before. And I realize it is the internet itself that needs to be reimagined. And we can't do that if we're stuck within it. It literally is the Matrix. If you're stuck within the Matrix, you can't reimagine the Matrix because you are a slave to the Matrix. And these Agent Smith algorithms, the internet, they're slowly suppressing everybody on all political spectrums. That's the thing, is we got to come together from like people on the right and people on the left. Both the people are upset about censorship. Well, actually, the left like screams more censorship because they hate the right so much. And it's just like, oh, you're so backwards, man. Like what really happens is like it's the right and the left hand with the same body, and that's what we need. And then we need to be like, hey, motherfuckers, like stop doing this, and be like, ha, now we're working together, blah, So, yeah, that's my Kaptains vlog for today, and I'm gonna work on some Roksha videos, getting them up pretty soon, and I really appreciate you all for being here. I really do. It means a lot to me, and it really helps too, because like your patronage has really like helped support us and helped keep us creating and doing the things that we we love doing and we love sharing with you. And now I am finally finding myself again, so I will be definitely sharing more of myself now. So I'm excited to get back to that. I'm excited to be more engaged with y'all here. So again, thank you all, and yeah, be excited for those videos coming out soon.